So let us start today again with the recognition. So I wanted to ask everyone. Yeah, I just wanted to ask everyone to please.
I stopped recording, but now I've begun recording for the second part of the networking session. So recording, so please go right ahead.
Yes, thank you, Andrew. It's a little bit broken up your voice today, but I did recognize the way that we are moving forward. So I wanted to ask everyone today who is on our call as well to please put their contact information into the chat window so that others on the call will have your contact info, especially if you are new to these IGU Summit events and the Global Unity Network. So I have put in many things into the chat, but we have as well, hopefully our presenter is on with us. There's just so many people on the call. I have to take a look to see if they are on the call with us. Our presenter today is Edgar Bejimula. Just scanning through to see if Edgar is on the line with us or not. It wouldn't be very unusual, let's say, if our presenter was not able to come on the call. It's happened a few times where there have been internet outages because most of our presenters are coming in from Africa, and sometimes the internet connectivity can be a little bit unstable and difficult to get on. So I don't see Edgar on the line. He did confirm with me yesterday that he would be able to do it, or he's prepared to do it, but it seems that he may not be able to get on the line. I'm going to just very quickly check, see if Edgar may have written me a message. So Edgar has written a couple of messages to me. He sent me a PDF document, which I suppose is his presentation. Edgar, if you are on the line with us, and maybe I just don't see you, perhaps you should put up your hand. I'm not seeing it.
Yes, Edgar had come in several times, but he went back out again, Lloyd. So we have multiple Sam Oluchu attendees. One of them may be someone other than Samuel Sampson, but I'm not certain. So unless Edgar introduces himself, perhaps we could use this time to introduce some of our new guests. We do have guests here that have not been here before, but I'll turn it over to you, Lloyd.
Yeah. So thank you, Andrew. That's why I asked if Edgar was able just to you can just press reactions button and then press the little raise hand button, and in case he's sort of hidden from our view, and then we'll bring him on. But other than that, I usually try to introduce the women who are on the network first on the call. I did see very briefly Stephanie, who I've been working with here in the Toronto area, and I believe is now in California, and had just met Andrew yesterday.
Yes, in fact, that was, I believe, day before yesterday, and she was en route to San Francisco and then over to Maui. So wherever she was, I did see her briefly come on, but I don't see her here now.
Oh, yeah. No, I see you. Yeah, great, because we've certainly been in Zoom boxes for years. So it was nice to see and be with you live in person. That was a real treat, and look forward to getting to know everybody in these calls. and grateful to Lloyd for all of his vision and leadership, and to Andrew for all of your hand-holding and facilitating as well. Hello, everybody. I'm Stephanie Schuler. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and right now traveling for work and other things. I am finishing my doctorate at the University of Toronto, OISE, the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. My particular research focuses on labeling in the childhood years, the elementary school years in particular, like labeling from a deficit model, like learning disabilities or language-based disabilities or behavioral disabilities. And I have problems with that. And that's why I'm focusing my dissertation on that and trying to focus on solutions that are more ability model, not deficit model, and looking at children and looking at communities for what multiliteracies we have, what different skills we have, not just the same skills, and encouraging children from a social emotional perspective, from a glass half full rather than a glass half empty. I'm also the founder and co-director of Maui Aloha Project Eco Village Initiative, which is a global eco village initiative that is looking at communities and individuals from those individual characteristics that each of us possess and that we can share and make life easier regarding high costs of living around the world. And these communities are about housing and food security at the very basis, and also about social relations. And I'm also a founder and director of the Global Unity Network and the Unity Learning Network. Given my background in education and holistic education, and I also have a background in play, which I believe is vital from an intergenerational perspective. It's not often a priority, but play can certainly cross the barriers. And I look forward to developing all of the learning opportunities that we will have regarding food system security locally in the Greater Toronto area and also globally, and also, of course, all of the Maui Aloha Project and all of the projects that I'm associated with focus on the Sustainable Development Goals. And I look forward to being with all of you over the next while and making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephanie, always. So I'm seeing some new faces. I'm seeing Geraldine Dion, MA. Perhaps we could have you introduce yourself as well, if you unmute.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting to be here. I must have seen something in passing and just decided to join in this morning. Completely random. I mean, I'm very, very interested in food security, and I'm very, very interested in regenerative agriculture. And I was actually involved in the launch in Montreal, where I live, which was in 2017. Anyway, yeah, I think this is a very exciting initiative. And while I've been listening, I've also sent you both, Lloyd and Stephanie, a request on LinkedIn to join your network so I can learn more about this and maybe how I could even get involved. I've been, I might be retired, I'm not sure, but I was working in the federal government as an information specialist, which is the technical term for a librarian. And I also have an MA in anthropology. And I did a bit of work in Africa, in Ethiopia at the parliament for the UNDP, and as a volunteer in Tanzania with an agricultural NGO. So I'm very interested in this approach you're taking. It's really wonderful. This is my very first exposure to all these ideas, and I'm just very keen to learn more. I've made a lot of notes, and I've joined some Facebook groups. and
Well, Geraldine, in the chat, we put a link to our Facebook group. We have about
yes.
1,500 members there, and this is being streamed there, and it'll be able to be replayed there as well.
Okay, yeah, I probably joined. The unit, which one are you referring to? The
I just put it into the chat right now. It's
just now. Okay.
just now. Yes, it's the AHIABGA Network, and that's the acronym for the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors. So I'm the chairperson of that. Lloyd has the portfolio for Canada and Turtle Island and the Francophone countries and the Commonwealth of Nations and a bit other. So he needs help.
I'm just an ambassador, right? I'm just a face, right? I'm just like I'm representing these, so I can talk to these folks if they want to talk to me.
Oh my God, this is very exciting. I mean, it just seems hopeful, you know. It's because it's not like focused on, you know, one individual place or one individual method or part of the system. It's really
interconnected. That's the entire idea. We're all interconnected.
Yeah,
we're all one species, right? We're all humans.
Yeah, and it's very inclusive, and I mean, it's really wonderful to learn about this morning.
Frankly, I'm learning from people like Andrew and people like in the network that I'm involved in. So when I got involved with the Global Unity Network development process, it was after having been exposed to all of the people around the world in Andrew's network, in this Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassador Network, which really changed my perspective entirely. Really, before 2 years ago, I had really never had known anybody from Africa ever, and so then now I've been exposed to so many new cultures, and it's just been eye-opening for me as well. So I'm seeing as well Carlos on the line. I'm hoping that he'll be able to introduce himself, because I had introduced as well during our presentation. Carlos is in Sierra Leone, one of the least developed countries in the world, but he is doing incredible work there in establishing the African Continental Network. Go ahead, Carlos.
Hello. Hello, yes. My name is Carlos Richard Sanko. I am also a Goodwill Ambassador, currently based in Sierra Leone. I'm the Continental Chairperson or Continental President for UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. We have our headquarters in Uganda, and I am also the Chief Executive Officer for Focus on Rural Development Sierra Leone, which is an NGO based in Sierra Leone. And I'm working with a lot of partners, currently managing Unity Network Africa and Diaspora in Africa, together with my team board members, which are centered in different countries in the 5 regions of the West Africa, North Africa, East Africa, South Africa, and Central Africa. And now we have the new one added, which is the diaspora, that makes it 6. So I'm really happy to meet with our new people for the first time. And I'm inviting them formally to come to Africa, to come and do business. Africa is ready, Africa is willing to receive people from all over the world, investors, people who are humanitarian supporters or funders to come to Africa to support the process of development in Africa. I want to thank you for this opportunity, Lloyd, my colleague, and Andrew, Stephanie, Angela. I appreciate you a lot. And today you're going to see a huge representation of African members, African leaders who are representing UnityNet. So please, they're just asking me that, Andrew, for you to allow them to come in. They want to come from the Francophone countries, from the Anglophone countries. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Carlos. I just wanted to mention, and probably Andrew was going to mention as well, there are also other languages spoken in continental Africa. So there's a goodwill ambassador for the Lusophone countries as well.
Yes, I was about to say that this organization was co-founded back on the International Day of Peace in 2019 by me, but I was inspired by Janice De Silva out of Cabo Verde. She was a 20-year employee of the UN Habitat, but she speaks not just Portuguese, but French, Spanish, and English as well. And it was her initiative to represent not just Cabo Verde, but the Lusophone or Portuguese-speaking countries that led to this formation now where we have intended regional ambassadors such as herself. So the short answer is yes, Carlos. And I would ask that you and I connect with Janice so that we can make sure that those people that speak languages other than English can participate with us as well. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Andrew. That's a welcoming news for me. Yes, because we want to ensure that we leave no one behind, even the Arabic people, those who speak Arabic also from North Africa. They are also asking, they are also calling. Thank you.
Yes, we do have that. Actually, I'm the deputy director of the American International Education Federation with Dr. Tamara Omar. She's also one of our goodwill ambassadors. But in Egypt, we have Dr. Mohammed Mokota. So he would be the one that would be interfacing with the Arabic-speaking countries. But also, as you know, one of the official languages of the African Union is Swahili. So Joseph had Moses in Kenya, and I'd ask you two, Richard, to Carlos, to reach out to your people that do speak Swahili and English and write Swahili and English to begin for us to establish a multilingual secretariat so that we can be more efficient as we move forward.
That's a great idea. Thank you very much, Andrew. Actually, Carlos has been heroic in terms of being able to start up the country chapters in French-speaking countries across Africa.
Well, what he's saying, Lloyd, that his success has caused him to even be more successful. So now we have to provide him with tools and support so that he can be more efficient at being able to accomplish his own goals and objectives as well for his own organization and his own causes. So we have to reciprocate the effort is all I'm suggesting.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just saying that that we are starting it by, of course, being the ambassador for Commonwealth and Francophonie. That's basically the English and French. So that's where my focus has been. So Carlos has also, of course, in Sierra Leone, surrounded by French-speaking countries. Actually, it's sort of an island of English in a sea of French in that part of Africa. So I'm just looking here, I'm hoping that Susan Yego will be able to also introduce herself as well.
Yes, good evening. Thank you so much, Loy, for giving me the opportunity to say hi to today's participants. And I'm happy to have had time to listen to your presentation. And I was able to introduce one participant today called Betty Mbidi. We are actually up to starting a new organization on a digital farming. We haven't yet registered the organization, but we are in the process of registering that one. We, on the Kenyan chapter, on the UnityNet Kenyan team, we have not yet taken off. So Jen, the president kind of said that the first country to register the organization was Uganda. And therefore, we are also looking forward to have the UnityNet Kenya team or Kenya chapter be registered so that we can enact all that we are put together in our team. So I look forward to all that. As tree planting is one of the highlighted projects, and I look forward to that. And we are already putting up, we are encouraging our team members to locate, at least to locate the nearest, to locate the nearest tree nursery that they can be able to, go through. And like now it's hot and dry in Kenya, and would like to make sure that the tree nurseries are watered, and that in our group that we have already floated it in the WhatsApp group, that every member should cite one or two nurseries in the vicinity where they live. If it's not there at all, there's no problem. But for those that are able to see any tree nurseries that are being operated, they can get in touch with the nursery operators and then make sure that they water the tree nurseries or water the seedlings, and also get close contact with those people. And we'll be able to talk to the community, especially in January, February, when the rains are on the onset of the rains. We'll be able to get farmers and youth groups and even 4K clubs go and buy the seedlings. The seedlings are not that expensive. They range from 15 shillings to 50 shillings, depending on what type of tree that they will be selling. So that is a first project that we are looking forward to. And we hope successfully by January, we will have schools, and we also have institutions and even farmers engage into tree planting. Thank you so much, Mr. Loy.
Yeah, this is wonderful. So this is, again, there's people taking initiative on projects across the country, and Susan is one of those really key leaders as well. I'm so glad that she was able to introduce herself. So I wanted to as well, I'm just looking through Rose, perhaps, could introduce herself if she's able to.
Yeah, good evening all. My name's Rose Mwandawiro. I come from Kenya, a city called Mombasa. I've been following up on UnityNet Africa for quite some time. A very interesting program indeed. I've had a lot of interest in it. Personally, I'm a medical person, and I handle a lot of medical issues, especially mental health. And I'm happy that Mr. Lloyd, you have addressed the issue in the public health, which is a very great concern, as health issues are affecting us in very many ways, especially in this climate issue. I must say thank you, Mr. Lloyd. You contacted me personally at one time, and we discussed a few issues. I've been interested in this, and I've been following it up. And I'm grateful to my role model, Jen Joroge and Susan Yego, and Willie.
Oops, we have a little bit of frozen video coming in. So we
shall come up, and soon we shall be registering them and have more participatory. And tree planting is going also to be one of our activities. Thank you so much, Mr. Lloyd, and the whole team. I appreciate you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Rose. So let's see. What I wanted to mention as well for Rose is my or the impetus for creating the Unity Health Network and the Gardens Network and others was actually the women here that I've been interacting with as well, and especially on our call earlier, introduced to us as well with Stephanie and Stephanie's involvement in her research at the University of Toronto, OISE, especially that really was why we have been looking at the mental health aspects, even as well related to climate change and the changes that are happening in all of our communities as we move forward. That's one of the critical elements of why we want to create garden classrooms. Essentially, is what these are. It's a completely different learning environment. Especially, I think, especially here in the West, where the institutionalization of our schools and classrooms has been so pervasive that educators are not used to even having these more natural spaces to learn in more dynamically. Stephanie was saying, these play spaces that are much provide much broader and holistic opportunities for youth, especially the children, to learn. I just want to say that my own wife, also from Taiwan, in East Asia, is one of the very few. She's a kindergarten teacher, one of the very few kindergarten teachers in her school that takes her kids out every day for a walk outside in nature, takes them into the forest, takes them wherever she can find to go play with bugs, to do these sort of things. And I've learned from her as well. It's a cultural thing. I think that we actually here in the West need to learn from others. And I learned as well from people in India, for example, who taught me about the importance of trees in our communities and how trees are considered in where he's from, in South India, as sacred in the community and to be cared for. And so these are the sort of cultural elements that we would like to deliver as well through the kindergarten classroom model. So moving forward, I just wanted to see if there are anybody that I missed. For instance, Betty, if she could unmute herself and introduce herself, it would be great.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful, Alois, and thank you for the presentation that you did earlier. I was invited by Susan Diego to this. My background is business development. I'm an entrepreneur and passionate about food security. So like everything that you've been discussing, I feel like it really touches quite a number of things that I'm currently and have been doing. So I'm so grateful to be here, and I'll maybe keep on learning what you're doing, and probably we can see how best we can support our communities to become better and also support them to ensure that we are creating a world that is friendly to the planet and the people at the same time. Thank you.
I'm gonna unmute myself next time. Thank you very much, Betty. So I'm also seeing Gabriela. If you would like to introduce yourself. I saw that you unmuted just for a second and then muted again. If possible, Gabriela, could you unmute yourself? If not, I suppose we could move on. Oh, I see now you unmuted and then again. Perhaps it is there's some technical issues there. Thank you for continuing to encourage everybody, Carlos, to put your contact information into the chat. We will save that, and you can also save that yourself. If you press the 3 dots in the bottom corner, it says save chat. You'll have that for your own records as well. So I guess I'd like to introduce as well Samson, who is also from Kenya. I've had some good interactions with Samson recently, because Samson is with an organization called Vikatane EV Kenya, and we are actually trying to expand the scope of their operations internationally as well, to see if we can set up an organization here in Canada that would support the work not just in Kenya, but across Africa, and then eventually in other countries around the world. So Samson, is it possible for you to unmute and introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. Hello. I hope you are getting.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Samson.
Hello, so we can hear you. Proceed.
Okay, that's great. As mentioned by Lloyd, Samson Oluoch from Kenya. I'm the National Director of Vikatane EV Kenya. I'm also the County Admin for NAGRIP. NAGRIP is National Agricultural Growth Rural Inclusive Project. We are doing, the NAGRIP NGO is doing together with the national government and the county governments, community and rural agricultural growth project that promotes certain value chain of different types of food, especially in African society. I'm also a continental official advisor of UnityNet Africa. I'm also the founder of Bridges of Hope African Community Project. What we are doing is promoting the girl-child education and also emphasizing on smart agriculture. The smart agriculture is all about coming up with ways on how to grow agriculture smartly. That is both modern agricultural and traditional agricultural merging together. So I'm very grateful to be part of this team and to be in this meeting, especially I and Carlos and Lloyd. We have been discussing a lot on how to strengthen UnityNet Global and UnityNet Africa, and especially chapters. I believe all of us, we are in the right way, especially if you look at the current situation in Kenya. We were actually, yesterday, I managed to attend a county, the government and county council meeting forum yesterday that brought more than 3,000 leaders in Kenya. The talk of the day was about climate change. So I believe UnityNet Africa, we need to do something for, and we need to come up with ways on how to address the climatic change and also to strengthen the development sustainable goals. Otherwise, I believe that we'll be talking more and more. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to put on our table, and we have a lot to promote, especially in food security. So God bless us. God bless us all. I know we will be sharing a lot, and I believe that it is going to be well. We are also going to, I will send maybe to some of us a link. There is going to be a Dubai show for agricultural. There is a show that is going to take place on 8th and 9th in Dubai, whereby we can display to the world what we are doing. That is actually organized with the Arabic countries and those who are working in the agricultural sector worldwide. So I'll share a link or ways on how to attend the meeting. It will be on 8th and 9th of December. So this is very important. If we can show what we are doing, show what we are able to do together in agricultural sector and also in eco village system. So God bless us. We believe things will work out. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you very much, Samson, for having the courage to support what we're trying to do, and we're really are in the early stages, but believe we will have a very strong impact as long as we work together. And this is actually the basis for the development of the Global Unity Network in the first place, was to demonstrate the power of SDG 17, partnerships for the goals. So the idea being that through these partnerships that we're creating across all of these non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, working together with business, working together with corporations, even working together with governments in these strong partnerships. And this is the role of the Unity Network, is to create these local partnerships, the interfaith neighborhood and business collaboratives, those 7-sector heptamatrix partnerships in each local community. So each local community has this strong partnership that can come together and really have a very positive impact and support those local community-based entrepreneurs, the humanitarian entrepreneurs who are implementing the solutions that are needed at that local level, at the local scale. So this is a demonstration of those of power of the partner model. So multi-stakeholder partnerships obviously are not new. It's been a concept that's been around within the United Nations for a long time, but we just have a unique partner model and a unique community engagement process. And actually, the community engagement piece is one of those difficult pieces. I'm actually going to be attending an event tomorrow, or I think it's actually, sorry, next Tuesday. The Tamarack community, it's called, here in Canada, out of the University of Waterloo, is having a whole series of events about community engagement, because it's one of the most difficult things to get the community involved in these conversations around the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals in particular, and to have that ongoing conversation happen is a challenge, because people go to these events and then it's kind of forgotten. They go back to their normal everyday life. But if implementation of the goals is embedded within the business and the everyday work that they're doing on a day-to-day basis, this is the idea for the humanitarian entrepreneurship model, in creating businesses that focus on the delivery of the goals as part of the essence of what the business is. And this is what we want to teach an entire generation of young people, to start creating and thinking about creating businesses that have this alignment. So as we move forward, I'm just scanning who's on the line. I'm seeing Maisha. I'm not sure we've heard from Maisha from DR Congo.
Sir.
If it's possible.
Yes, I'm Bishop Maisha from DRC, Congo Republic.
And what are you doing in DR Congo?
Yes. Passer Roland.
Allez.
Vous pouvez nous faciliter à translate parce que nous, c'est le français seulement, l'anglais, c'est un tabou.
Okay, do we have anybody that can translate French?
Yes.
Yes. OK. Est-ce que nous pouvons continuer par ce là?
Oui.
Oui, je suis le pasteur Maïcha Vianney. À partir de la RDC, je suis aussi directeur de Tatane, même aussi fondateur de plateforme. On appelle les femmes unies pour les femmes unies pour le développement durable. Allô?
Okay. His name is Asha Gani. It's from Congo DRC. He's director of IGU, also director of women with sustainable program DRC. Okay, go ahead.
Non, il y a un problème de connexion chez vous, please. Il y a un problème de connexion, donc il y a un problème de connexion. Est-ce que vous m'écoutez bien?
Oui, je vous entends.
OK. En bref, je remercie Dieu pour aujourd'hui, à cette grande occasion qu'il vient de nous donner de participer dans cette réunion. Je remercie aussi le prof Carlos Continental de UnityNet, mais aussi avec Liodi, avec tous les membres de UnityNet pour cette grande organisation. Et nous sommes là pour l'accompagner, mais surtout pour changer l'Afrique sortant du mal, aller du bien.
So he's thanking you, Lloyd and Carlos, the Unity Continental President, and all of the people here in this call. So he think he's here to help Chief DRC Congo can move forward.
J'ai dit, nous sommes là pour un seul combat, pour changer l'Afrique, terminer les familles au niveau de l'Afrique, mais aussi promouvoir la paix partout en Afrique. Alors, Roland?
So we are here to. Je vous ai déjà, laissez-moi interpréter.
Oui.
So we are here to fight against to fight so that Africa can move forward in every department of life.
Thank you very much.
It
is a little bit of a noisy line, and I wasn't able to catch many of it, unfortunately. But we will definitely continue to try to support DR Congo. Actually, I wanted to mention as well, when we started our first collaborative tree planting program, the CTP program I mentioned during the presentation, back in 2019, our partner at that time was a group out of DR Congo that was working with the tribal leaders across the heart of Africa, in the Congo, and so we have a sort of a strong historical connection to DR Congo through that organization, that group that originally where we wanted to partner actually for helping the Canadian government at that time deliver on their promise to plant 2 billion trees across Canada, where we were setting up a program in Prince Edward County in Eastern Ontario to plant trees on local farms and other private properties that would contribute to those goals, and where we were as well wanting to work to support the groups in DR Congo, the tribal leaders in DR Congo, to also plant trees where those trees would be essentially contributed to by the Canadian government to effectively double the number of trees, with of course the ultimate goal being planting 2 billion trees. Canada would plant 4 billion trees, with 2 billion in Canada and another 2 billion in Africa. So that is what we're now basing this reverse CTP program on now, where now Africa is intended to take a leadership role in planting trees, and now partners with all of the other communities around the world to also plant trees. So with Africa taking a leadership role in establishing these food forests and these regenerative landscapes, in tackling again the biodiversity issues of the decade on ecosystem restoration, at the same time as we tackle issues around health and food security and climate change and so many other SDGs in each of our local communities. So I'm asking, I guess Carlos has his hand up. Maybe he'd want to say a few more things. Carlos?
Yeah, hello. Okay. We want to inform the rest of the global team that from next week, we will be providing updates around progress happening in Africa around UnityNet Africa and diaspora activities. So we want to keep you so that in Ubuntu summits, the Thursday meeting, so that you have us on the index plan, so that we'll be providing updates, the weekly updates around progress. So we look at progress, challenges, and recommendations. But so far this week, there are 3 key important things that happen. One of it is we've been able to have a 2 weeks work plan for ourselves, for the board members, to look at developing the constitution, the compliance policies, and other important areas like developing a 5-year strategic work plan. And then after, also for us to develop the 42-year work plan for UnityNet Africa and the Global Index, the Global Unity Network, that will work in consonant with Canada and other places for our global goal. And then also the other aspect of it, I was able to have a session, an orientation session for DR Congo specifically. So I had a meeting with them, a 2-hour meeting with them, gave them orientation around what Global Unity Network stand for and what Unity Network Africa and Diaspora stand for, what we have done so far, where are we and where we are going right now. So that also has been done. And then the other aspect of it is I also had a meeting with UnityNet Uganda with the government registrar or registration council representative, Natasha, in relation to UnityNet Africa and Diaspora Secretariat, official registration or recognition in Uganda and the region. So far, conclusively, what we agreed that the official name that is going to be accepted and that will be on within the Gazette registration index for Uganda is going to be UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. That one has been agreed. What is required from us is for us to provide a formal notification or request as to why we think that that name is us and it is a certified name for us, and the government can go ahead to do the registration for us to start our official functioning activities in Uganda and the continent all over. So far, this is what we have done so far for this week. And thank you so much for your time and everything. So we want to do it as a tradition now that every Thursday we provide you updates of what is happening in Africa, UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. And it will not only be myself providing updates, there's any member of the team board members will be delegated responsibilities to do the presentation in terms of what we are doing, so that we leave no one behind and everybody is equally represented and equally important in our team. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for that update, Carlos. I think that's something that you have shown that leadership from the beginning in terms of ensuring that everybody's voice is being heard. I'd like to know if there are any other people that would like to speak as well. We're already coming in on 1 o'clock, which means that we've been on for almost 2 hours. I'm seeing Ayodele. If you could unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. And everyone that is on board. We want to say thank you for the opportunity given to us to serve in the UnityNet Africa. So Isaac, the vice chairperson of Tukatane EV NGO, Germany and Africa, also stroke the LIC issue. We want to appreciate you for believing in us and also for the collaboration process between us. We want to say thank you for also allow the UnityNet Secretariat to be in Uganda. So I will not add more to what Mr. Carlos have said concerning the process of registrations of UnityNet in Uganda. But I want to assure you that there is a progress concerning the registrations, and I believe that as we are progressing, Professor Carlo will be updating you on what is going on, and I believe that as soon as we be active, able to act in Uganda. Also, like the advice you gave to us concerning the office, we have got an office which we can be using as a temporary office for the UnityNet African and Uganda as a secretariat, and that is the Mr. Namara, who is our secretary, the secretary of UnityNet in Uganda. So once again, I want to say thank you for the good job that everyone is doing. We are very happy, and we believe that if we can continue with one spirit like this, we believe that Africa can be transformed. So thank you once again, Mr. Lloyd and the entire team. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Dayodele. I'm seeing Willis Okumu.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Willis, the Vice President, UnityNet Kenya chapter. First of all, I would want to extend on behalf of entire members of UnityNet Kenya chapter our gratitude for the wonderful presentation that you just made, Lloyd, and the entire leadership of the global Unity Network for according, I think, every member an opportunity to highlight cases that actually affecting them in one way or the other. As the Kenyan chapter, we actually assure you that we are on a roll. We are making good progress in terms of the mission and the vision of the society, of the organization. So a number of things, including the tree planting events, are actually in process. So as the board of directors will be meeting very soon to map out ways through which we can actually actualize the good projects. Otherwise, we have nothing much more to say. I think my colleagues had also mentioned this earlier on. So ours is just to say a big thank you for this opportunity and for the support that you're actually extending to least developed countries in terms of adapting to the challenges of climate change and achieving the sustainable development goals. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, Willis. Thank you. So I guess we are probably winding up at this point. I'm just wanting to say that sort of as a last thing, we are approaching winter here as well, getting colder outside here. So we're now, as I mentioned in discussions with certain municipalities. So as we move forward, I'll be putting some more attention here because I think we really need to establish, especially the virtual collaborative network. And that's really important eventually, that we will get all of these chapters that we're creating right now in these that are now dispersed in all of these virtual spaces. So on WhatsApp and on Facebook and on LinkedIn and all of these sort of different conversations that are happening separately to try to eventually bring everybody onto this, what we call the virtual collaborative network. So part of my work as well is to establish that, especially here, starting here in the Greater Toronto area, sort of as the first point of entry. And our ideal partnership case is actually we would like to work especially with our colleagues in Tukitane organization to see if we can develop partnerships, especially with the national governments in the different areas where we have a presence. So I'll be trying to engage with especially the federal government in Canada, the Canadian government, in conversations, especially now that the speech from the throne for a newly elected government just took place. So a new set of priorities has been elaborated by our government of Canada, with climate change being one of the key areas where they would like to take action. But we believe that we can take action here in Canada, in our local communities, by creating this partnership between the local municipalities and the federal government, and then through the federal government taking partnerships to the extent of creating country-to-country partnerships that then go back down. So let's say between Canada and Kenya, that then go back down to the local level communities as well, through again the country chapters and the INBCs in each of the local communities. So a local community in Canada, let's say where I live in Markham, city of Markham, now able to collaborate with a local community in Kenya, even in a marginalized rural community, through the partnerships that are being created. That structure of partnerships allows for sort of up and down the levels of government to and creating partnerships across the countries, but then local partnerships being the ultimate goal that we're trying to seek to create, where a local community can collaborate ultimately with another local community in another country, but where all levels of government are involved in that conversation and the actions that are taking place. So I guess at the end of the day, it is now 1 o'clock, and unless there's anybody else that would like to speak, we will wind up today's presentation. Thank you all for being on the line with us for this long session today, almost 2 hours. And I want to assure you that I will continue working on behalf of everybody that's coming forward. And I want to have, of course, conversations with some of the new people came on the call today as well, as we move forward and develop this network. So thank you very much, and have a good weekend. Are there any last words, Andrew? I'm not sure if Andrew's hearing us. He may be busy. So thank you all, and I will, I guess, I'm not sure if I have the capability to end the call. I don't have control here, so we'll just wind it up today and ask people to just, again, put your information into the chat in case you haven't yet. And we'll see you all next week, perhaps. I will stay on just in case there's anybody that would like to have a follow-up conversation, but